Let's go, Rider Nation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Get the feeling now. Get 'em high, get 'em low. 'Cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got. 'Cause we're ready.
Welcome to the Piffles podcast, your hour of fun, of comedy.
Amateur comedy.
Amateur
Not even
comedy,
professional
yes.
comedy. Amateur
No,
comedy.
we're not professional comedy. We don't get paid, unfortunately. One day when we get paid, it'll be professional comedy.
Still not good comedy.
No. Comedy, nonetheless. This is your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast. That's one of those if you know things.
If anything, we lean into stuff like that.
Yes, we do. Thanks for joining us here, wherever you get your podcast, watching on the live stream on X, Facebook, or YouTube, or catching the show on SaskTelemax TV on demand. We appreciate it. You got me this week. I'm Alex.
And since Steve's not here, you got Greg here. So
Yeah, Steve. You know what it is? Said he had something going on, couldn't make it. You know what it is? He's heartbroken.
because Trevor's still not signed.
Because Chris Strevler is a free agent, and he needs him back in his life.
I'm going to do like a baby comeback video of Steve. Baby come back.
Ironically enough, we are going to talk about Chris Strevler later on the show, because we're going to be talking quarterbacks this week. Because I'm hearing a lot of stuff online about what happens if Trevor Harris gets hurt. No, the answer is not Chris Strevler, but we're going to go through some quarterback options.
It is a answer.
We'll see. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Give us a follow on social media at Piffles Pod. I'm at Real Alex D.
And as always, I do not need nor want your pity follows at Greg Sports.
Piffles Podcast is brought to you by Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. We're also proud to be sponsored by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. Well, not a lot going on in Rider Nation, but a couple things to talk about. Let's get to it. Time for the opening kickoff.
I am really surprised that the UFL didn't try to trot out 20 more rules, so we had something to talk about tonight.
What happens? A little birdie told me the league CFL might be announcing some things before the season starts. What they are, I have no idea, but they seem pretty important.
So help me God. If it's a 4-point field goal, the Ad Bradbury rant will no longer be the benchmark. It will be.
I don't know. I don't think you can top Steve's Al Bradbury rant. That thing is legendary. That's almost as good as our interview we had with wow, why am I blanking on linebacker? Wayne Shaw.
Shaw's a good one too. That's a good interview. And just a reminder, the entire library is up to listen to, including some of the old interviews. So all 500 tracks are out there for now.
Yeah.
For you suckers, and someone's doing it too. I'm like, someone's going deep in the catalog this week. I can see that now.
If you have 45 minutes or an hour to kill, go back. It was probably around, I don't even know what episode number it was.
I know for a fact, if you search on Spotify, all you have to do is you can search our library and look for just Wayne Shaw.
Look for Wayne Shaw. That lots of good football stuff, and then there's some other stuff in there too as well that he went on a tangent. It was pretty entertaining, but a good interview. But go back and check those out. By the way, if you got time to kill, yeah, do that.
I look back at some of those, like going through the library. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like especially the CFL weeks, we had Ricky Ray, we had Zach Caleros, like we had so many guys over the course of this show. It just blows my mind.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. You just the fantasy or the football, the kicking, the rules.
Yes.
Back to that. You know what? I know you're opposed to this 4.60-yard field goal. I you know what? Make it just like fantasy football. You're in NFL fantasy football leagues, 30 to 39 or like 39 and under worth 3 points.
Okay,
40 to 39,
then I want a point per catch. If we're going fantasy rules, I want a point per catch,
half point.
and 3 points for quarterbacks for passing touchdowns.
I mean, we want more scoring, right? That's what's going to make the CFL more profitable, and that's how we're going to get more points in this league, right?
It's going to look like a basketball game.
Steve made the joke last week about the IFL, the Indoor Football League, or the Arena Football League, with those high-scoring games. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe that's what the CFL wants to go after.
There's not enough in this glass to make you think that's a good idea.
But later in the off season, apparently there's going to be some sort of announcements. I don't know what they are. I've just been told that there's something in the works. What that means, I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. But anyway, looking forward to seeing what that could possibly be about. But there is actual things to talk about. A couple of them. A couple signings by the Riders over the last week. That's what the opening kickoff is all about, the Rider news. And another defensive back brought in. This one with some very serious NFL experience. Jerry Jacobs was brought in last week, formerly of the Detroit Lions. Started 29 of his 40 games over 3 seasons with the Lions just a few years ago. Had a sack, 4 interceptions, a forced fumble. The knock on him is the health. Had 2 ACL tears. But this guy's, what is he, only 28, I think, is what he is. He's still young. And I mean,
well,
maybe not in football terms, but he's still young.
And he's old in NFL terms, too, especially with 2 ACL injuries. When you got a guy that needs to be able to backpedal and laterally move, having ACL issues is not ideal. My concern is, how is he going to move, especially on a much bigger field with the receivers getting that waggle on you? He's going to have to be fast, and that's what a lot of DBs have trouble adjusting to, is the speed of the game, because it is wider. It is, well, not soon to be longer, but is wider, and it comes at you a little bit faster than the NFL game.
So to me, this is an interesting signing just based on how much experience he has. You look at what Jeremy O'Day's done this offseason, there's a couple names over the last few weeks that we've had brought in with very serious NFL starting experience. Jerry Jacobs here, Darrell Henderson Jr., the running back as well, too. We're seeing guys that have proven themselves in the NFL now coming up to the CFL, which I think is a good thing. Not saying this guy's going to make the team, not saying he's going to be an all-star by any means, but it is an interesting thing to see that we're getting this kind of experience.
Well, and I think part of that is, and especially once again, bring up my new favorite league, the UFL, is you're seeing a lot of the younger guys that are asking to be released from the CFL are going to the UFL if they're not getting playing time. You're getting those more established guys. I don't want to say they don't want to mess with the UFL, but they rather come here and play because it's stable. It's maybe a little more lucrative, and it's, once again, the UFL is such a giant question mark. Who knows if it's going to be around from season to season.
Well, that's exactly it. If you have plans to play professional football for more than one season, the CFL is a much better option for that reason. I can tell you the CFL will be here next year. As terrible as things are in the CFL and how fans are leaving and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we've heard that for the last 100 and some odd years in this league.
Viewership is up.
Right? Like, things are actually going pretty good for this league. We have stable owners.
That stable ownership, the growing revenue, the revenue sharing, viewership is up. Oh, that CFL's dying again.
Yeah. But the UFL, like you said, you don't know year to year if it's going to be back. I don't even know if they're going to play this year. It's very possible they could pull the plug. They did that with the XFL a couple of years ago, right before the season was supposed to start. They're like, yeah, we're not doing this. So
they moved 3 teams that are owned by the league. basically fake venues. They're basically a barnstorming league anyway. If Fox and ESPN didn't have so much money in it, it'd be dead by now. But they're trying to make some of their money back on it.
But we are seeing more.
Coaches quit. All of their head coaches quit this year. Okay, I'm done. Okay, no more UFL talk. I'm done. I am done. I am done. It is. Go away, Satan. I am done.
I'll have to throw you on the Markcast if you're going to keep talking UFL.
It will help his viewership probably. Anyway,
I don't even know if he still does it.
I don't know either, actually, to be honest.
Shrug. But anyway, to the Riders, defensive backs. So they brought in quite a few defensive backs, even though this secondary is kind of set in stone. There's a lot of intrigue with the backups. You look at a guy like Jerry Jacobs, Benny Sapp III, Sheldrick Redwine, Nafiz Leon. Like, there's some guys that have playing experience in the CFL that looked good for us last year, looked good in Montreal with Leon, and now this Jerry Jacobs guy who had a very solid few years in Detroit. I don't know how set in stone the secondary is if they're bringing in guys like this.
I think you're. Then again, if your name is Marcus Sales, Devon Campbell, or Roland Milligan, I don't think you need to worry so much unless there's injury problems that we're not aware of. That said, a good GM is always looking to upgrade. Guys.
And do it for cheaper.
Yeah, and Father Time is also undefeated. Like, guys are getting older. Like Marcus Sales, 3 seasons ago, some people thought he was washed up. Hell, we thought he was washed up after game 1 with the Riders because, oh boy,
were we wrong?
Yeah. Hey, this is why I don't think I'm a GM, despite what people are saying about me online. I'm just saying, I was wrong about that one. I can admit that.
I think everybody was, though.
Oh, wow, that was such a bad game. That was also coaching malpractice, putting him in on 1 day of practice, and thinking that was going to be a good idea. Your defensive backs need to know where each other are, and it was obvious he wasn't on the same page yet. But man, that second game, he showed he was a fast learner. But yeah, you're always wanting to upgrade and get cheaper and get younger because, yeah, unfortunately, these guys get older, these guys get hurt, and sometimes they lose a step. Some guys can play forever. It's you always got to keep a good mix on your roster.
The other guy brought in this last week, defensive lineman Ty, don't call me Jason French. Shout out Jason French. Love that guy back in the day.
Like I said online, I like my Frenches like I like my slot backs. Or like I like my Claremonts. Name Jason and play slot back.
Wonder if this guy's a real estate agent too. Maybe in a future life of his, Ty French, he can get into real estate. But another defensive lineman, he's on the smaller side in terms of weight, I guess. Like he's a little bit smaller than Malik Carney in the sense that he's like 6'1", 230. Carney's 6'3", was he 240, 235, something like that. But this guy has long arms, and immediately I think of Willie Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
But defensive line, especially on D end, going back to what you just said, going cheaper and finding the next one, like that's clearly what Jeremy O'Day and this coaching staff and this scouting staff, this administration has put a huge focus on this offseason, is finding young talent at defensive line and hopefully guys that can be here for many years.
This training camp roster is going to be like 50% defensive linemen by the end of it. Like, they've got so many defensive linemen, which is great. Because you're right. They do need to find the next one. Because right now, like they were going to spend 270 on Malik Carney. They need to find young guys that can get to the quarterback. Like we need that situation where you got two guys pushing each other, like Chick and Banks were, and that worked very well.
20 defensive linemen are signed right now for training camp, and that's before the draft. That's I mean, huge focus. This is going to be a lot of who's that we're going to see outside of your Elise Sod, Caleb Sanders, Mike Rose, and James Vaughters.
Yeah.
But there's opportunities here when you're going to dress 8 D linemen, and really only 4 guys are pretty much guaranteed a roster spot right now. There's a lot of opportunity here. This is going to be the best battle in training camp. This is going to be potentially like a war of attrition. Like who is going to be the one that can not stand out just for a day or two, but have consistently a solid camp and make a mark in the preseason.
And the good news is they're going up against one of the best defensive lines in this league. So if they can cause fits on that offensive line, they are going to just blow everyone else out of the water.
So well, these ends, if they look good in training camp and they're up against Peyton Collins, Jamarcus Hardrick, and et al. Daniel Johnson looked very good at left tackle when he was there last year for a game. So I mean, when you're going up against those guys, yeah, if you can stand out against those guys, you're doing something right. So there's a lot of opportunity here on this D line. I'm really intrigued to see what they do. But 20, I'd have to look back at previous training camp rosters. Like that seems not excessive, but that seems like a lot.
That's essentially a fifth of your training camp roster on one position.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think they're probably going to draft a D lineman or 2 in the draft as well, in the Canadian draft.
Well, they're going to have to because their Canadian depth at offensive line is Ollie Sod and Corte Lake Moore and Benoit Marion, and that's it, I believe.
They have Liam Hoskins under contract as well, too.
Oh, right. I forgot about him. That is right.
But yeah, there's Corte Moore's coming off that ACL injury. Benoit Marion, he's a rotational guy, and Liam Hoskins was on the practice roster. So there's not a lot of experience. So you're going to want to, if you want to make Elise Sod a starter, you're going to want some depth behind him, another guy coming in. So if you can get another defensive tackle even just to get that burden off those, the middle guys, Mike Rose, Elise Sod, Caleb Saunders, probably going to have another 1 or 2 defensive linemen come into camp just from the draft there. So huge focus for this team in the offseason here. And that brings the total up to 91. The Riders' current offseason roster is at 91 players. They can have up to 100 going into training camp, not including the non-counters and juniors, or so draft picks basically, and territorial juniors. So 9 more signings that they can have.
Yeah, because the rules changed last year. Well, the clarification they had was it last year, where even if the guys went back to college and were in training camp, they are counters this year. That definitely kind of surprised a few teams. They didn't see that coming.
Yeah, guys like Seth Hundaby, Daniel Weeb as well too. Yeah, so they count against the totals. So 9 more signings plus draft picks for this year that we'll see in training camp. So not going to have a lot much more news coming out of Riderville over the next 2 months before training camp begins. But wanted to bring up a couple former riders here in the opening kickoff, and we kind of talked about this before. And thank you. Mark this down.
Well, I'm actually I'm going to do this. Clip it. Apparently, Streamer clips things for you if you say clip it. So
All
please
right.
clip this coming up AI. Anyways.
Jake Maier. Thank you, Jake Maier. Words I'll probably never utter again. did an interview.
This might get played more than the Joe Hendry.
We didn't even have to pay $60 for it either. Jake Maier says that he left the Riders for Ottawa to look after his family for more money. Thank you, being completely honest. Talked about how he liked his time here, but at the same time, he's got to look after his family. And yes, you do. I just wish more players would take that approach. And I've actually always really liked Jake Maier's media, like how he deals with the media, his honesty. I remember there was a game in Calgary when he was in Calgary, and they were awful. He had a bad game, and he owned it. He didn't throw anybody else under the bus. He said, you know what? It wasn't the defense giving up points. It was me. I sucked. I was terrible. Of course we lost, right? So like someone like that, I appreciate that. And the fact that he's not saying, you know, we need to be better, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I need to be better. Yeah. My guys were there. They were open. I couldn't get them the ball. So take the ownership. And that goes a long way in my books. I don't want him as a starting quarterback, but, you know, I appreciate it, right? So thank you, Jake Maier, telling the truth, finally went for the money.
Well, and he also, excuse me, he also was talking about in the same interview about how he also sees himself a more of ability, probably a chance to get into play. It's more of a competitive basis in Ottawa, where as opposed to here, it's Trevor's team. He flat out said it's Trevor's team.
Yeah,
you're not getting in there unless Trevor's hurt. So he realized he's probably going to get another shot in Ottawa before he gets a shot here.
Meanwhile, AJ Allen says he felt like he wasn't wanted by the Riders because they didn't match Ottawa's offer. Now, there's a thread on Rider fans. A lot of people are saying that they've lost respect for AJ Allen. I disagree with them on that end, but hey, that's fine. Agree to disagree. He's the highest paid linebacker, earned it after the couple seasons that he had here. So good for him for getting the money, obviously. To say that he wasn't wanted, though, I don't know if I fully agree with that. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room. I'm not privy to decisions. I don't know how Jeremy O'Day felt, blah, blah, blah. But keep in mind, this is a human being. That's how he felt. So I don't think there was any disrespect by the Riders not wanting to match Ottawa's offer. When you catch wind, yeah, this team's probably going to offer you a boatload of money. We're not going to do that. Sorry. See ya. As cold as the business is. And he did acknowledge that part. He did say it is a business. They have to look what they're going to do, probably do it for as cost effective as they can do it. But AJ Allen's really taken a lot of heat online, and I don't agree with it. What's your take on it?
Rider fans overreacting about a guy leaving here feeling slighted. This is the first time that's ever happened. I doubt there's going to be giant AJ chants like there was for Henry, but I digress. Playing devil's advocate, while I do understand where AJ is coming from, it's obviously, I don't say it's personal, but he took it personally, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. And then that's, like you said, he's a human being. He's allowed to have emotions. He's allowed to speak how he feels. That's the great thing about this thing. But once again, you got to look at it. They had, 40-some free agents? And they probably had to figure out who was going to get paid where. And yes, Trevor Harris took a discount of a salary, but they still had a bunch of other guys to sign. Should we sign AJ Allen over AJ Willett? Probably, in my mind. I think we could have saved some money in that aspect of it and then got a really good Canadian linebacker at maybe an inflated value. I don't know. Has the numbers for his contract come out yet? I know he's like the highest paid, but we actually found out a hard number on that yet.
Yeah, I 3 Down had it. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if the actual terms are there, but I'm pretty sure something was in there. But yeah,
But that being said, he earned it. Like I'm glad he's getting paid. I will never fault a guy for getting paid. But unfortunately, there are other aspects when you're dealing with an entire team. As much as you would love to keep everyone and keep everyone paid the amount you think they should get paid, at the end of the day, the Riders were going to offer him a contract, and he was going to say yes or no to it. And he said yes to Ottawa. So you can't fault him for it.
the irony is not lost on me though that you say he took it personally, obviously, which is fine. Rider fans of any sport, of any team, they do this all the time too. We take it personally when players leave for whatever reason. So, some food for thought on that one. The irony is not lost on me that we want you back, but the second you don't want to be back, oh, go away. We don't want you here. You just said you did.
There are very few free agents Rider Nation would have shipped down other than Kerfell Exime. They wanted everyone back except for
and it was never going to happen, not when you have 45 free agents to start. And when I looked at this roster, actually, I looked at this the other day. 45 free agents. They have 91 on the roster right now.
Yep.
Because of all the injuries that the Riders had and being able to stash guys on injured lists and whatnot, we ended at the end of the season with like 70 players on the roster. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So these are all guys that have kind of been together for a few years now, the core of the team. But of those 70 players, I mean, almost all of them got meaningful playing time experience. So when you look at a guy like maybe AJ Allen's not the best example of this, but when you look at maybe a CJ Rivas, well, how dare they let him go? He's great. Well, yeah, but we also saw Benny Sapp, we saw Sheldrick Redwine, we saw Antoine Brooks Jr. Those three guys never would have gotten a shot without injuries, right? So we saw what happened. All three of those guys can play. Okay, well, we have three guys ready to step up. Yeah, we lost CJ Rivas, but we have three guys ready to step up.
And that's the nature of the beast. And that's why being a fan, I don't say it's hard, but it's difficult sometimes because the CFL is not a league where you can hang on to a guy forever. Like I tell the story all the time it is very hard for me to buy a jersey with someone's number on it because I was so used to getting burned in the past about buying a guy with his name on it, and then he's gone in a season or two later. And then,
well, at least you got a season or two out of it. Steve got how many games out of Keith Toston?
Like one preseason game, and I think he got in one actual game.
Who is the receiver he had?
Kerry Johnson.
Kier Johnson. Yeah.
Guy stopped at the tailgate and signed his jersey on the way to the stadium.
Somebody actually has my jersey.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, and don't get me wrong, I broke that rule for Dressler. I broke that rule for Roland. Roland is a little bit of a different reason, but for obvious reasons. But,
yep.
It's I understand why fans get emotional about guys coming and going.
Oh, totally.
But that's like you're not getting the lifetime riders anymore. It's rare. Not within a salary management league, not with revenue sharing, not with always needing to get younger. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Until contracts get fully guaranteed, we're not going to see long-term deals. That's just the way it is. So yeah, it sucks to lose guys, especially guys of high character like an AJ Allen. But they have to do what's best for them.
But on the plus side, and I see a few people talking in the comments right now. Very active Facebook chat going on, by the way. If you're not watching on Facebook, apparently that's the place to be.
Sorry, Kier Williams.
Is it Williams? Oh, okay.
Steve said it was Williams.
Okay. But the fact remains is at least Saskatchewan is now a place where what riders want to go. back when I swore off getting guys' names on jerseys, like we'd get a good guy, and then a year later he's in Calgary. Once his 1-1 was done, back when the contracts were 1 year plus an option, he was gone.
Yeah, my Davin Bush jersey didn't last very long.
Neither did Devin Bush.
He went to Winnipeg after and fizzled out after a few games.
Yeah,
I think something like that. Man, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, don't remind me.
But, I mean, we'll have movement. That's the way it is. I look at what the Riders did. I'm still very happy with their offseason, with who they retained and the makeup of this roster. Yeah, there's still – I don't think there's major gaps outside of a long snapper, which we currently don't have. That's my concern right now. Outside of that, I'm not too worried because the positions that they're going to be going with young recruits and who's that type guys, they're ones that kind of are the easiest to recruit. You might have an American receiver and a D lineman.
Yeah, like everyone's talking about Edmonton won, Ottawa won, the off season. The Riders' biggest thing they had to do is re-sign their core, and they did it, and they added where they needed to.
9 all CFL players, 7 are returning, 1 was retired with Micah Johnson.
And he's technically still on the roster.
Right. Maybe all these defensive linemen suck. Bring back Micah Johnson, player coach. Give him the old pinball treatment.
I want to see him just run out one play, just pulling on a jersey.
Can play O lineman as well too.
Yeah, exactly.
If we need it. Well, that's the opening kickoff presented by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level. Let's get to let's talk about the Banjo Bowl bus, sponsored by Engelheim Charters. Tickets are live.
Get your tickets now.
Over 65% sold.
These things are going out the door faster than Scott Flory when you ask him to change sides. My Lord.
Wow. Should get Scotty on the show. You can say that to his face.
I will.
He'd probably laugh, honestly. Scott Flory's a great dude. But the Banjo Bowl bus, tickets are available. Over 65% sold. 2 nights in Winnipeg. We're leaving the Friday before the Banjo Bowl. That's September 11th from Regina. Staying in Polo Park. Plenty of bars, restaurants, all that kind of stuff are nearby. What does this get you? Well, right now, early bird pricing, $425 per person based on double occupancy. You're not going to find a better price for something like this anywhere. I mean that.
We looked. We tried. We couldn't.
Yeah. Ride to and from Winnipeg. Ride to and from the game from the hotel on the game day Saturday. Ticket to the game. We're stopping in Brandon for lunch on the way there. Stopping in Moosomin, of course, as always on the way back. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. I only know you and Furlan from Moosomin. The bar is not very high, man.
God's country, man. I'm telling you. CFL journalism greatness comes from Moosomin. Me, Kirk Penton, Furlan.
That's a trio right there.
One of these things is not okay.
Yeah. But roasted chicken. Who doesn't want roasted chicken? Or for you, the blooming onion burger?
Burger. Oh,
yeah.
No one wants one so bad.
So $425 is the early bird price. From now until May 1st. May 1st is when early bird pricing ends. And I don't even know if we'll have tickets available then, the way that they're going right now. If you want to go to Banjo Bowl, this is the time to get in. Shoot us an email. Shoot us a message on social media, pifflespodcast@gmail.com. Reserve your spot. All we require right now is a $100 deposit, and that goes towards your total price there. So lots of prizes, lots of fun on the way there. Grand prize, brought it out last week. I got it here again. Somebody is walking away with this one. George Reed signed jersey. Somebody's taking that home. we'll be best friends. We'll match. It'll be great. But it's the best weekend of the summer.
And if you know anyone who wants to go, or you think of anyone who might want to go,
Yes,
let them know, because
send them our way.
Yeah, it's going in there.
And the CFL is going to throw something in as well too. So, and Carrie's bringing cookies. Yes. Who doesn't love homemade cookies? Carrie, aren't we already besties? Yes, we are, Carrie. 4. She knows what that means. If you were there on the bus, breakfast on Sunday morning at Stella's, you know what that means. But Banjo Bowl bus, shoot us a message. We'd love to have you on, and let's sell this thing out soon. But let's jump to right now. Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Greg has a former rider, once, twice, 3 times a rider, maybe. I don't know. We're going to find out. You're going to give me some hints. I'm going to have to try and guess who it is. So how many Van Stones is Remember That Guy this week?
We'll put it at a 4.
Ooh, okay. Let's remember that guy.
Hotty toddy, we got an Ole Miss Rebel.
Well, right off the bat, I would say Belton Johnson, but I think you're not going to make it that easy for me.
Saw Belton tonight. Said hello. It was awesome. I love Belton.
Oh, who doesn't?
Signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers as an undrafted free agent.
Hold on. I don't know if he actually went to Ole Miss. Javon Johnson.
It is not Javon Johnson.
Okay. I know he was in Pittsburgh at one point, though.
It's called Pittsburgh, Ottawa, Hamilton, Montreal, Winnipeg, Las Vegas, Edmonton, and Calgary home.
Whew, okay. It's a lot of stops.
All right.
Okay.
2-time Rough Rider. And I'll even give you the years. 2007, 2009, no Grey Cup ring.
Oh, no, I lost it.
A CFL East and a CFL All-Star and runner-up to most outstanding special teams player.
And Jason Armstead.
It is Jason Armstead. And
See, just when you said 2007, 2009, threw me off because he was here in 2006 as well, too.
Yeah.
But yes, he was part of that trade to bring Corey Holmes back in 2007.
Yep. So, yeah, he wasn't around for the Grey Cup game.
Yeah. And then we brought him back in 2009. That's right. Yes.
The last thing was his stats: 3,378 receiving yards, 16 receiving touchdowns, 4,433 punt return yards with 6 return touchdowns, 5,976 kick return yards, and 571 missed field goal returns yards.
Speed kills tattooed on his calves.
He ain't kidding, man. He was fun to watch.
Man, getting him and Kerry Joseph in the Ottawa dispersal draft.
So good. One of the best moves Tillman ever made.
Yeah.
That was highway robbery, is how that happened.
And then flipping Armstead for Corey Holmes, which eventually I think that was that the one where it was Corey Holmes and also for Chris Getzlaff?
Yes, Holmes and Durant and the rights to Durant. Is that how that worked? No.
I think that was a different trade. Yeah, because that was in Ottawa. Durant his rights were owned by Ottawa.
They were owned by Hamilton.
Was it Hamilton?
Wow. Holmes and Getzlaff traded for Armstead. That is definitely the headline here.
Yeah.
So
that's a pretty solid trade. That is up there with the DJ Flick and Wayne Smith for Rocky Butler. Like, that's some serious ROI.
Still better than any trade that Tillman made for Giles, though.
Oof. Or any trade giving away a quarterback. Jeez. Yeah, Jason Armstead. 06, he was fun to watch still in 06, and then 07. It just wasn't there with him in 07. We were expecting Kerry Joseph and Armstead to really, mesh right off the bat. And it didn't really happen. But we won that Grey Cup in 07, so.
Okay, so here this is why I tied Armstead or Corey Holmes to Darian Durant. We got Hamilton's first overall dispersal draft pick. So this is the Ottawa dispersal draft pick, and a negotiation list from Hamilton for Corey Holmes, Scott Gordon, our 2007 CFL draft pick, and the negotiation list quarterback Reggie Ball.
Scott Gordon was also a pretty solid safety here for a little while too.
It was not bad.
Good trades.
I always said Eric Tillman, when trading with the Ticats, no notes. Great trades.
Well, Shivers did that original trade in 06. Tillman didn't come around until 07.
7, you're right.
Yeah.
But Tillman gets all the credit.
Every time we trade with Hamilton, I don't think Hamilton wants to trade with us anymore.
They shouldn't. They really shouldn't. They should phone a friend on that one.
Got us Charleston Hughes as well, too. That was fun. We've done really well trading with Hamilton. Well, Jason Armstead there on Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's Tactical Laser Tag Experience. Let's get to our Churchill Brewing Company odds and end zones. Want to make mention this upcoming Saturday night CFL Fans Fight Cancer 2026 launch party is happening across the country. But here in Regina, it's the 20th anniversary of the CFL Fans Fight Cancer. It's going to be from 6 to 10 p.m. at Pump Jack's Social Hall. That's on Albert 13th. That used to be the old Cathedral Social Hall. There'll be some silent auctions, prizes, giveaways, all that kind of stuff there. Hosted by Tammy and Sheldon. Sheldon, of course, with Two and Out podcast. So looking forward to going out there. So if you looking for something to do on Saturday night, come on out. Let's raise some money for CFL Fans Fight Cancer and break the record that $75,000, just short of that is the record.
I thought it was more than that. But
is it more than that? Whatever it is. They're going for 100K this year, and I hope they get it.
I will not be there. I will be listening to pumping bass music while people get thrown through the air in Warman. So,
yes.
Gotta love cheer comp season.
But yeah, CFL Fans Fight Cancer launch party this upcoming Saturday. Hope to see you there. Quarterbacks. We're going to talk quarterbacks because I've been seeing a lot of, the TSN posted. TSN actually posted a CFL content thing, and they said, which quarterback room are you looking forward to seeing the most? And I look at it and I see, well, I know everybody says here in Riderville, well, if Trevor Harris goes down, we're screwed. You could say that about just about every other team in the league.
Everyone, I sent you that image and I went, woof. Like, everyone is a giant question mark.
Yep.
Except for possibly, Edmonton and Montreal, maybe Ottawa.
Maybe Hamilton with Trey Ford, but even then, I'm not a big Trey Ford guy. Yeah, fun to watch him run around, play schoolyard football, but it's not sustainable to winning games.
It's no longer do we have Danny McManus backing up Doug Flutie, and then the third string guy is like.
Well, what was it? Damon Allen.
Was Damon Allen, Flutie, and McManus in the same quarterback room? Was it not? In BC.
Damon Allen, Tracy Ham, in Edmonton.
Oh, Edmonton, maybe.
Back in the late 80s.
There were some awesome QB rooms back then, Matt.
Danny Barrett was stuck behind Doug Flutie in Calgary.
Well, Calgary had Flutie, Garcia and
Garcia.
Dickinson in the same room.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. Like we are not there anymore, people. We are
No.
not there anymore.
No. Football has evolved. Quarterbacks, maybe not. But something bad happens. Oh man, we're screwed if Trevor Harris goes down. I'm not going to say we're not. Just an unknown with Jack Cohn. But let's say something happened. What? And I thought about this after we talked about Harrison Frost a couple weeks ago. He was a quarterback for Hamilton, was a pending free agent, re-signed with Hamilton, got cut 3 weeks later, just recently signed in the UFL. Sorry, no more UFL talk. But Montreal also released quarterback James Morgan. I mean, obviously they're set with Davis Alexander and now Dustin Crum behind him as well. So Morgan didn't really look good in his playing time, but
We did not.
it made me think, well, what's the actual plan? What is the Riders' actual plan if Trevor Harris got hurt? And I look at it, obviously Jack Cohn gets the first shot. If he doesn't light it up, do they swoop in and try and find a free agent and bring in a la Michael Bishop and start him right away?
Oh, you're gonna give me PTSD. Ugh.
Hey, that Banjo Bowl with Michael Bishop in 2008, that was awesome. That comeback at Canada Inns was incredible.
That playoff, my first Rider playoff game that I could go to, is forever etched in my memory, and not for a good reason.
I've never been more upset at a football game than that game.
Oh, I was there with you. Believe me.
Fuming in section 27.
Oh, that lasts, like I always said, Durant's biggest ovation was the night he hosted the Grey Cup, and before that was taking out Michael Bishop.
Yeah. But I look at what's available. Michael Bishop's available to you, but I don't think he's getting the call.
Probably still has an arm though. Won't hit anything, but
You could probably still chuck it 60, 70 yards. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll throw it over those mountains.
McLeod Bethel Thompson. I'm going to throw out some names. This is what's available with any kind of CFL experience, right? McLeod Bethel Thompson, Caleb Evans, Tyree Adams, Shea Patterson, Logan Bonner, Cameron Dukes, Jeremiah Mazzoli, and your friend and mine, Steve's best friend, Chris Strevler.
Say his name and he appears. Steve believes in Chris Strevy. Steve believes in Chris Strevy. Cause they love him in London and Paris.
Strevhausen, love it.
And I only did that because I know Steve's watching on the feed because he's commenting.
Well, honestly, Chris Strevler, coming off the ACL injury, not an option.
No.
He wouldn't be an option here unless something happened to Tommy Stevens.
Yes.
If something were to happen to him, I would actually be all in on Chris Strevler for that role, that third down role.
And the good news is he can play backup receiver, as Winnipeg showed, because they never dressed enough guys.
And the best part about it is we could get Steve his Ryder Strevler jersey. Chris Strevler would be on Remember That Guy at some point.
We can get those two together finally for that podcast that Chris has promised to do with us.
He wants to do. Yep.
Maybe we can get them together and one of them can do like the Triple H point at the other guy.
I hope so. The possibilities are endless.
But seriously, out of that list,
yeah, who do you go to? Would you even go to this, or would you just ride it out with Jack?
I would probably go elsewhere. At this point, out of that list, MBT, he retired once already. He retired on a winning team. Why he came back, I'm not fully aware. I guess sometimes it's hard to get it out of your system, and I'm assuming that's what it was. Maybe, yeah, if you phone him up and going, you're starting no matter what, you're not sitting on the bench, maybe he'd think about it. But out of that list, Cameron Dukes with an outside shot of... I can't even do Shea Patterson. Thought about it. I think Cameron Dukes is the only one on that list. But I'd go outside first. I really would. I would try to find someone outside.
I don't know what they would do. Because I look at these guys and I look at Mark Mueller's offense. I don't see how anybody fits into that offense. Out of these names, Tyree Adams would be the one that kind of intrigues me the most.
Yeah.
But this would be, we talked about trading with Toronto last year for kickers. We were talking about Brett Lothar. What's Nick Arbuckle? What's the asking price for Arbuckle? That would be my immediate thought. You give Jack Cohn a game or two, but if he's not it, I'm probably calling Toronto and say, okay, how many draft picks is it taking? What do you need?
It would also depend on where you are at the beginning of the year or whenever it happens. Let's say we're approaching Labor Day, and let's God forbid Banjo Bowl 2014 Redux.
Sure.
We're on a roll, and Winnipeg doesn't hear the whistle, gets a free shot at Trevor Harris, and he's out for the season, like Durant is. And we find out very quickly that the Jack Cohn is Tino Sunseri 2.0. You do whatever you can to find someone fast. You cannot do what they did in 2014. That was GM malpractice, not having a quarterback ready on a team that good. Like we squeaked into the playoffs, and with one game left in the regular season, we dust off Kerry Joseph and throw him out there.
Throws 5 picks in that postseason game. We damn near won that game too.
Yeah, I know.
He throws 4 picks in that game. We win that.
Yeah. Like that was roster absolute mismanagement. It was bad. Like, so you'd have to hope Cohn is ready, or they've got a list of 5 quarterbacks just in case. But then again, if you're at Labor Day and the wheels have fallen off, roll Cohn out for the rest of the year, get him all the experience he needs, and hope you can salvage and get ready for next year.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at too. Go with Cohn. If you're in a serious chance to win, if an injury happens late in the season and your only option is you can't trade because the trade deadline is gone. I mean, honestly, if it's for 3 games, MBT might be the best option. I don't love it, but if you think you can win those final few games, he might be the best option.
Look at what Winnipeg had to do to start their dynasty, and that's what, for those that are listening, it was heavy air quotes on that. Nichols gets hurt. Travelers was not the guy, so they took a flyer at the deadline to get Zach Collaros, and Collaros played the best 4 games of his life.
Yep.
And became an all-star, became so-called number 1 player in this league. You take a flyer on a guy like that. At least it's not Kerry Joseph, who hasn't been playing for like 4 years or 5 years at the time, like it was in 2014.
Dust off Drew Tate again.
No, he likes holding the clipboard at this point. Always has. I honestly think I'm very curious to see what happens in the NFL with Curtis Rourke, because there's a good shot he might become available during these camp cuts, because he didn't play at all last year. At some point, you'd have to think, if they don't think he's ever going to be ready, they're going to cut bait with him because he was a 7th-round draft pick, 6th-round draft pick. So it's going to, if the Niners draft another quarterback, the writing's on the wall for Curtis Rourke. He's got to perform this offseason.
They got Mac Jones as their backup. I mean, they're set for a while. That's what they have.
So it's very curious. Like we might get Rourke before Winnipeg gets up Garesma.
That's NFL draft combine thrower to you.
To the DBs, apparently.
Yes, photographic proof he was there.
And apparently a bunch of people did not pick up on my sarcasm because his agent was in my DMs.
Sarcasm You
No,
never.
never. I
Can't
would
see
not
that.
troll anyone with their own words because they're too lazy to click a link. Why would I do that?
Ultimately, let's hope that this discussion is all for naught, right? Like we saw what happened last year, and it worked out pretty damn well. This offensive line might be better than last year.
I will say now to the same thing I said at the beginning of the 2014 after the preseason games. Pray for the continued health of our starting quarterback. I do not want to see what's behind it.
Yeah. I mean, Shea Patterson helped us win the Grey Cup last year, so I mean, maybe him.
And if Jack Cohn ever leaves here, I hope he does the same from somewhere else.
But hopefully but that's always the worry, especially in Riderville. Who's the backup quarterback? That's always the talk. Who's the next guy? So I don't know.
I can't wait for the Rider faithful to work on their Cohnisms. Like there's got to be it's not Free Willy, it's not Tino time, it's what? It's not Harker Mania, brother. There's got to be something.
That was a good time.
Indoor MVP, indoor bowl champion, Isaac Harker.
Yeah, nice guy. Lived like 4 houses down from me actually when he was here.
We need more quarterbacks from the School of Mines. That's all I know.
The Colorado School of Mines, Chad Freehoff and Isaac Harker, legends. Ryder, and the thing is, I joke about that. Everybody knows those two names.
Yeah.
Can't wait for your. Went to school at the Colorado School of Mines. Well,
yeah, it's going to be a 3-question.
But
you guys are going to get this in 2 because I'm starting off with where they went to school.
And the other guy doesn't have any stats, so yeah. There we go. It's like 6'7". That's his claim to fame. But hopefully it's all for naught, and we're just blowing smoke and talking out our butts here, which is
basically what we do.
Normally, what happens.
Yes.
And with that,
it's a Tuesday night, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, we'll leave it there because there's really not a lot to talk about.
Yep.
Dead season in the CFL right now, so hopefully we'll get something. Hopefully we'll get something in the next week. Something good, like 4-point field goals or something.
Well, and that's what I mean. It's too quiet in the CFL right now. I'm a little concerned.
I told you. I've heard that there's a potential announcement or two coming.
Oh, quick question. Quick. Is it a little too ironic, a little too much on the nose that the dumpster fire was on fire this week?
Oh yeah,
McMahon Stadium.
The fire outside of McMahon Stadium. It was a bin or something, storage bin.
Apparently, the storage bin caught on fire, and then it was in their storage facility. I don't know.
Yeah. That picture though, like obviously nobody's hurt, so that's the important thing, right? Everybody's safe, things are fine. That still photo that was posted looks like somebody has just this sweet flamethrower.
Yeah.
Throw a Rider jersey on that person in the Photoshop.
You can throw a Stampeders jersey on that photo because I'm sure they want that stadium gone.
The smile of Hank Scorpio on their face with the flamethrower, like that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Meanwhile, the Stampeder fans are showing up, throwing gas on it. Like the firefighters.
Where would the Grey Cup this year be played?
Shoal-Dice Field, where the Calgary Colts play. It's like 500 people. It's fine.
Yeah. Dumpster fire. That whole stadium. Kind of fitting. Very on brand.
Yeah, very on brand.
At some point, they need a new stadium. You know what they need to do is at least put backs on the seats. On all the seats.
I've never been, and everyone keeps on telling me don't go, so I keep on not going.
You've never been to a game at McMahon?
Never been to McMahon.
Really?
Nope.
It sucks, man.
I've been in the city when the Riders have played. I just never went to the game because
like the sight lines and everything are fine. Concourses and everything are just awful, way too small. Sightlines for the game is fine. My biggest issue is, one, the metal bleacher with no backing behind it. And
like leaning into someone else's legs.
Yeah, honestly, you do. And that's why we sit with Gove's group and 50, 60 other Rider fans. So you all just kind of like roll into each other. It's great. But it's just, the thing is like outside of like, it's not just in the end zone where these crappy seats are. Those go to almost to midfield.
Yeesh.
Where there's no backs. Like, yeah, the expensive seats in between the 20s and closer to the field, those have backings. But towards the top of because there's no upper deck, right? It's just one level. Towards the top of that level, there's nothing. And it's just terrible. Put some money into your product and people will go. Invest, you'll get your ROI. But this is CSAC, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Let's face it, the stamps are basically a write-off for the Flames.
Yeah. They desperately need something there.
And it's funny because we talk about committed ownership, and it is possible to own more than one franchise, but it's what the Atlanta Thrashers were to the Atlanta Hawks. They were just a tax write-off and lost all the money so they could do other things.
You mean the Winnipeg Jets?
You mean the Utah Mammoth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah. All right.
We'll leave it there.
Got there.
Yep. Piffles Podcast, brought to you by our great friends at Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. Special thanks, of course, to Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas for their support, making everything possible. Thanks for listening, spending your hour listening to us. Why? Don't know. But we appreciate it. And thanks for watching wherever you got this, on the live stream, X, Facebook, YouTube, or watching later on SaskTel Max TV on demand. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. We'll leave it with Tyler Gilbert, Ghost Behind Your Mind.
The ghost behind your mind are waiting for you. I won't pretend to be blind like I have for so long. The ghost behind your mind are waiting for you.
Thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.